Hey everybody, Chris the Atheist One here, and I'm back. As everybody might know, I've been battling hairy cell leukemia for the past few months, and recently the doctor told me that I'm in remission. So I'm happy about that, as you can probably imagine. Always a good thing to hear that. And some things have been going on. I want to fill you in on them. And I just wanted to... something funny happened, and I just couldn't wait to tell you about it because I just thought it was so hilarious. I had to have chemotherapy, and I had this woman come up to me while I was in chemo one time, and see, I've got this new wheelchair. Insert picture here. Okay, the wheelchair, as you can see, is freaking awesome. And it has a sign on the back of it that says, Atheist Inside. Guaranteed conversation starter, that. Well, this woman saw this sign on the back of my wheelchair, and she said, so you're an atheist, huh? And I said, yes. She said, that means you don't believe in God. And I said, that's correct. And she said, well, you must be terrified. You must be really scared. And I said, well, why do you say that? And she said, because, I mean, you don't believe in God, so you're probably going to go to hell. And I'm sitting there thinking, I can't believe this bitch said this to me. It's so rude, you know. But she did. And I said, well, you know, I don't believe there's such a place as hell. And, you know, I would never say that to someone who was ill because it's just incredibly rude and ignorant. And she gave me this funny look, like, you know, I had lobsters crawling out of my ears. And I said, you know, I don't mind religion. It's the people that piss me off. I said, you need to never say that to someone in my position again, because it's really incredibly rude. I said, it doesn't affect me. I'm not going to suddenly start believing in God because you said that. I'm just going to go away with the impression that you're a sow. And she, at that point, walked away from me, naturally. You know, I don't have any sympathy or, you know, when you have cancer, it just kind of strips away the pretense. You know, you have like a threshold for bullshit about this big. And it made me think, you know, Christians, back when I was a Christian for over 30 years, and other believers, I'm sure this is true of them too, they're so fearful. They're not just fearful for themselves, they're fearful for you too. You know, and they think that if they say these god-awful things to you, that it's going to, you're suddenly going to have this epiphany, and you're going to say, oh my God, I need to, you know, jump down on my knees and ask God to forgive me. It's such bullshit. They're so fearful. But if you ask one of them, they'll say, we're the fearful ones, being the kings of projection that they are. They say we're the fearful ones. Now, having had cancer and going through chemotherapy and facing down the possibility of a really early death, I feel qualified to say that the idea of death didn't scare me. It was the idea of the pain. I mean, leukemia is very painful. That was the part that sucked to me. But I never thought at any point in time that, after I died, I was either going to be jabbed by pitchforks in a flaming swimming pool, or that I would be forced to bow and, go into servitude for some giant with an attitude problem, for all eternity. I just thought, when I die, that's going to be it. It'll be over. And I'm here to tell you that's an extremely comforting thought. It was very comforting to me. The idea that I didn't have to suffer anymore, or feel anything, or know anything. And beyond that, the idea that my body would degrade. I'm going to be cremated. So, my ashes would become part of the earth again and be part of the stars again. What a cool concept that is to me. How awesome that is. It's more awesome than any religious thought I ever had. When I was a theist, I was always afraid. Always afraid I was going to fuck up. Always afraid that God was going to judge something I did as horrible. Always wondering in the back of my mind, have I committed that unforgivable sin? Well, it's bullshit. And I'm glad that I know it's bullshit now. But for you believers out there who've been writing to me and saying, you better turn your life over to Christ or Allah or who the hell ever, I got news for you people. I'm in remission, and yes, I'm going to die someday, but I'm not going to subject myself to the emotional North Korea that is religion, to put it as Christopher Hitchens did. I'm going to instead enjoy the comfort of knowing the truth. And the truth is, when we die, that's it. Blotto. I would love to be able to go back to all the patients I was next to as they died and tell them how wonderful that is. What a wonderful feeling it is to know that there's not going to be anything, that it's just going to be peace. It's not even going to be that, because you're not going to be aware. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you about. And I wanted to show off my new wheelchair. And I wanted to put in a shameless plug for Medecins Sans Frontieres. There's going to be a big, long blogathon. And it's starting on September the 18th. I'm putting a linky in the crotch bar. And go to DPR Jones's site and go to his page, because there's a video there that's got all the details. And people are participating in the auction to support this, and there's already a donation link up or two, so you can snatch out your checkbooks now. You don't have to wait. Avoid the Christmas rush, and make sure and join DPR Jones and everybody else for this wonderful blog event. I'm looking forward to it. I will definitely be watching. And until then, peace out, everybody.